What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Real quick, I'm not going to go into this for very long, but I have to definitely speak on this. We know about the the individual who killed 10 people in Buffalo, and I gotta say this. I'm not speaking on this just to be another person who is reiterating and retelling and recalling what happened. Nah, we all know what happened. Everybody has seen the story. If you haven't seen the story, go look at it. I'm speaking on it to reiterate and remind us of the premise behind it. That is a constant. That is a repetitious cycle, and that is that racist white supremacist mindset that exists not just in the old racists that we think about from the past. It exists in the minds of the young ones as well. This cat was 18 years old. Well, he is 18 years old, and I say is instead of mistakenly saying was because he's still among the living, of course. Um, this is Dylan Roof revisited. This is Dylan Roof revisited simply because it's another case where an individual purposely targeted black people. Even though he shot two white people, he apologized to one of them before he shot them. But the target, the whole purpose, admittedly by him, this ain't me guessing, was that he was going to target this neighborhood that he selected based on zip code because he didn't even live in the city that he came to. And he knew who would be there. So it was a strategic move. But that mindset that exists, he's 18 years old. So he also admitted that this wasn't something that he just was taught, or he just decided, hey man, this is what I'm gonna do. I've been researching some things on my own, and it's made me feel some kind of way about the the limited birth rate of the white race compared to the birth rate of the black race and the darker people of the planet, and I got to do something about that. So he went to murder him some black people. Now, this is the main course of what I want to talk about. Once again, we get another example of why it is so important for us as black people to be focused on separation. And a lot of black people don't want to hear that. We do not like we could power fists and black this, black that all day long, but soon as somebody brings up the um, the concept of the subject of separation, oh man, well I mean that's a little too extreme right there, man. I mean, how you gonna do it? How we gonna do it? See, because we want to continue to live in this country, and many of us want to still continue to live among individuals like this fool and pray the hate out of them. We feel like we can pray and love the hate out of them, and we also have many of us who still kind of fall into that. When I say many of us, I mean black people who still fall into um, that spell that was cast upon us by um, white people and other black people who were commissioned to do so, that there's no such thing as racism in this country or in the world for that matter. So now that thought is on autopilot because a lot of black people pass on that same ignorance. When these are clear cut examples on the savage level where there's an actual physical act of racism carried out in the form of a massacre of this magnitude. The other side to that is the racism that exists in terms of institutional and systemic, where opportunities are denied and things of that nature based on the color skin and all that. This was a physical manifestation of racism. So to say that it doesn't exist is just pure ignorance at this point, or it's denial, or it's strategy and plot and technology that's used in order to make us go, well, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't racially motivated. Maybe he was just sick. Maybe it was a combination of both. Because, yeah, he was sick, but the racism itself is a sickness. And so we know that the media will spin this because of who he is, and this will turn into a troubled teen who just needed some help. Yeah, he did a bad thing, but he was a troubled teen that had a few mental issues, and if somebody could have just got to him and helped him. Now, if somebody could have just got to him and bumped him off before he did that to all those other people, that would have been better for him. But separation is something that we need to strongly start taking into consideration if you are not among those who already share that viewpoint. Because this nation proves over and over again and shows and demonstrates over and over again what it really thinks about black people, period. And you can't argue with clear evidence. It'd be one thing if this was just speculation, if I were just throwing stuff out there and they said, well, give me some examples, Kay, and I'll go, well, I can't really just give. But if I was asked to give some examples with no limit, I wouldn't be able to list them all. So again, this video is not done from the perspective of shock. It's not done from the perspective of surprise, because we all know, well, some of us know, that if we can go back to the very last shooting and the very last act of this magnitude, regardless of who it involved, even if it didn't involve black people, anybody with a brain knew that there would be another time, there would be another incident coming down the pipe. The same with the police brutality. We knew, no matter how many of our brothers and sisters that we can list that have been murdered unjustly by racist police, we can look and say, yeah, man, unfortunately, it's going to happen to somebody else. Because it's always one of these cats plotting somewhere in their mama's basement somewhere, going through it, losing their mind, creating that whatever that vision is in their mind that they have of what America should be and what it's not, based on what they believe it's becoming and who it's being, who it's catering to, when it's never catered to us. It's delusional. But it's always somebody like that plotting and putting together. This dude had a 180-page manifesto. That's a novel. That's a book. Dude didn't write one sheet out and just said, hey man, this is what's going on. This dude had 180 pages. This dude created a freaking curriculum. Then he carried out what he had in his mind to do. So if we're not going to unify among ourselves and come together and start to be preemptive in terms of how we move and how we observe our surroundings and stay aware of what's going on, then these things are going to continue to happen. But if we decide that we want to make those steps to say, man, look, man, we're not going to let y'all just take crack shots at us and have target practice on us anymore. And it ain't even just about you saying, well, man, I got my pistol, I got my, yeah, I mean, a person can have a gun. You could be a gun owner, man. You can be licensed, registered gun owner and all that. But the truth of the matter is, man, you're not gonna always have that gun on you. You're not gonna always be. Your guard goes down. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you trained so. Your guard goes down. So individuals who were just making an innocent trip to the grocery store. Let me just run to the store real quick. Everybody does that. You're not focused on those possibilities in those moments because just going to the store. But the reality is our unity is what's going to save us in this day because it's going to be more incidents like this. And we will not only just see the incidents, we will continue to see the um, open support of individuals who do stuff like that. See, it's people in the wings that really shaking their head at the crib like, good job, young man. Great job. These are people that you see every day. Some of them you work with. Some of y'all have moved into the neighborhoods to be around them. Some of them are even athletes and entertainers. They looking at that going, salute to you, Payton. That's a dude's name. Good job. The same with Dylan Roof. Raised millions of dollars for his defense and all that, man. So the individual who carries out the act, he's in the forefront. That's who you see. But there are millions that you don't see who are totally in celebration of this moment right now that 10 people, majority black people, 10 black people were killed. Correct me if it wasn't 10, but if 10 people were killed, majority black at the minimum. People celebrating that. But this is the country we want to live in? Nah, man. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says separation is the best and only solution. We have to move away, totally move out, create our own, and anybody who crosses those borders, you get what you get. All right, man, this your big brother K-Rino. I'll have more on this on my radio show tomorrow night, KPFT, 12 midnight Central Time. So y'all check it out. I'll go into further detail. But I didn't want to let the day go by without speaking on this. But again, it's only serving as a reminder that we can't relax. All right, man. Peace.